In this chapter, we'll look at some of the options and hidden controls in Padshop. Now that you've seen some of what Padshop can do, I want to back up and show you a few controls and options that will help you unlock Padshop's potential and use it more effectively with Cubase. If you're an experienced Cubase user, some of this will be a review. To load a preset, click in the patch window here. This will open a version of Media Bay, which helps you search for sounds. You can use this in two modes: logical search or attribute search. And if you learn nothing else from this section, remember this button. This is the Reset Filters button, and it clears any search criteria out of the window. If you ever have a situation with Padshop or any other part of Media Bay where it looks like a whole bunch of stuff is missing, odds are there's a filter active somewhere that you've overlooked. To use attribute mode, you set up filters on the left and see results on the right. So if I want to browse synth pads, I click here. If I want to see pads categorized as having motion, I can filter out everything else by selecting motion. Then the only options left in my results window are those synth pads which have motion. To see all the results again, you have to disable the motion and synth pad filters by clicking on them again. Or just click the Filter Reset button. If you want to do a quick and dirty keyword search, just enter your text here. The red glow is to help remind you that a text filter is active. And to clear it, reset filters again. If you switch to logical mode, you can do a more advanced text search using the logical operator in the middle column. And you can add multiple rows of logical criteria. And you can use the star system in the results window to rate sounds you like and dislike, much like iTunes. Okay, back to Padshop. Let's talk about automation for a minute. These R and W buttons turn on the read and write automation, just like any other parameter in Cubase. But if you want to see the automation lane for a specific parameter, right-click on the control and select Show Automation Track. This trick works for almost every parameter in Cubase. As long as we're right-clicking, there are several other nifty features in here. You can assign the parameter to one of the 8 quick control slots for easy access without reopening the plugin each time. I can select Learn CC, then move a MIDI controller on my keyboard and connect the two. And this is one of my favorites. I can assign this controller to the mod wheel. Now when I move the mod wheel, this parameter moves with it. But check this out. I can move around Padshop and connect multiple parameters to the mod wheel. Now, when I move the mod wheel, they all jump. Handy for live performance. Another option is to switch Padshop to the generic editor presentation. All the same stuff is here, it's just not laid out with the normal user interface. Another thing to keep an eye on is the Layer A and Layer B control. The first thing to be aware of is how many layers are in use, which is shown by the red square. You can use these squares to turn a layer on and off. But you have to click on the words Layer A or Layer B to actually switch layers. Keep in mind that the two layers look almost identical, so what can happen sometimes is that you'll be looking at one layer and listening to the other. And in this case, the controls you're moving may have unexpected results. You can control the balance between the two layers with this slider. If you want to copy one layer to another layer, or to another patch, call up the layer you want to copy, and click this Copy button. Then go to the layer where you want it to go and click Paste. And if you want to clear out Padshop entirely and start from scratch, just click the Initialize button. If you need to make a large change to a numeric value, click and drag your mouse vertically across the number. If you're using the on-screen keyboard, where you click on the keys determines the velocity value. Clicking toward the top generates a lower velocity value, and clicking on toward the bottom, or the end of the key, generates a higher velocity value. Finally, you have two more controls hiding in the corner. If you click on the question mark, the operation manual for Padshop will pop up. And if you click on the gear icon, you have the option to turn the tooltips on and off, and to turn off the value tips. Now let's move on to the next chapter and get into the modulation matrix and step sequencer.